Hello. Welcome to this little budget where we save for the big things in life on a little budget. If you are new here, my name is Natasha and I am just working on creating a life in which I am financially independent, financially free, and I get to enjoy the money that I earn and make it work for me versus my money working me and telling me what to do. Hopefully that made sense. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back and clicking on this video. Hey budget buds, and welcome to day 3 of the December binge-a-thon. I will link the playlist above. So far we have gone over my second December paycheck. All right, we did a budget with me, my last one for 2021. Day 2, we did our first look and review of the Elevated Life Co. budget planner that I'm so excited to use. And then today we are going to be talking about my 2022 goals. These are goals as it relates to my finances, but they are also personal goals to me. Well, duh, that, right? But I'm just calling them my goals because they impact every part of my life, not just my finances. So before we get started, I want to share a quote from this book. It's called Seize the Day. The best views come after the hardest climb. And I actually got this book from the dollar store a few months ago, when Dollar Tree was still $1. And before I started writing my goals and really thinking through them, I found a quote. Let me take out my little draft sheet here that resonated with me. Hopefully you all can see that. And it says, "It's never too late to be what you might have been." And why this means something to me, I'm in my 30s, right? And I think about all of the success that I have had in this last year with just focusing on my money and trying the cash envelope system and zero-based budgeting. And sometimes I beat myself up and I think, well, why didn't I do this in my 20s, right? Why did I make the decisions that I did? And I wish I had more time. But the truth is, it's not too late to be a financially responsible individual, and a financially responsible member of my family, and for me to teach that to my daughter and my future child when he or she arrives in the new year. And so if you're watching this and if you're thinking about it's too late or how do I get started, it's never too late to take that first step and to change your current direction or your current path, and to think about the person that you want to be and how you can actively be that person, because it just takes one step. And even though I feel like I've gotten started on this journey a little later in life, that I can still be who I want to be and enjoy my money and get the most out of it because I'm taking charge. So just wanted to share that with you all. Hopefully that resonates with someone. This is going to be my money book, my journal where I write my notes, do my draft budgets, everything. I got this book from Walmart, from the clearance section, and it says, let's get wild. So let's get wild about our money. Let's get wild about our goals responsibly. All right. So, I'm going to share, I wrote 5 goals. I'm trying to cover it up, and I will share one at a time. Hopefully you can see that. Let me bring it down just a little bit. And so these are my 2022 goals. So first things first, I want to add without deduction to my general savings. So this year, I think I did really good in doing that, but I did pull from it, not regularly, but I did pull from it more than I would have liked, which caused me to have a few $100s less than I anticipated or planned for by this time when I did this back in February. And so I still did a pretty good job, but not quite happy with where I landed because I made some irresponsible decisions that caused me to have to dip into my savings. And so I'm going to accomplish this. So I want to continue allocating the percentage to my savings that I've been doing. And I think that has worked really well because it has caused me to save without thought. And I don't miss that money because it directly goes into my savings. And so that feels really good. And it also just builds a habit. I don't have to think about transferring it over. I don't have to end up spending money from my checking account and then I have less to transfer over. That money is automatically transferred over every single time I get paid. Excuse me. And a way to make sure that I don't deduct anything from my general savings, I do need to build my checking account buffer. And I need to be intentional about it. And so I'm going to start budgeting $25 a pay period as a buffer. And so $25 has to stay in my account. That is what I'm going to consider the new zero. So when my account is at $25, there's nothing more that I can spend from my account unless I am putting money from sinking funds or whatever cash envelopes back into my checking account. I will also take about $5 to $10 from any extra income that I get. And so right now that extra income is YouTube. And so depending on how large that check is, I will pull $5 to $10 and that will serve as a buffer that stays in my account. And when the time comes for tax refund season, depending on what that is looking like, hopefully leaving $100 to $150 in there also to build my buffer. So here it is. That is how I plan to add without deducting from my general savings by tackling leaving money in my checking account and allowing that to build over time so that is where I can go to first versus into my savings. I do use my sinking funds. I do pull from there, but I want to make sure that when I pull from my sinking funds, it is, how can I say this? It is for what that fund is for. So for example, I had to pull from car maintenance to cover gas one time, right? And like gas is something that I already budget for. So I want to be strategic about those things and how I pull and where I pull and having a nice cushion in my checking account. So I'm rambling, so I'm going to move on to goal number 2. But the goal here is to continue to add to my general savings, not to deduct from it unless it is a major emergency that we have to take care of, and making sure that my checking account buffer is being added to regularly, and that if I am spending money that there's a sinking fund for or a cash envelope for, that I'm making sure that that money is returned to my account promptly. All right, goal number 2. I want to focus on priority sinking funds. And so I've decided that my car, which is like car maintenance, car registration, things like that, emergency fund, future, medical, and baby are my priority sinking funds. And so if you are new here, I am pregnant with my second child, and it is time to just start back saving for that. We still have a lot of the big items that we can use again from my first daughter, who is 3. And so they're just little things like some clothes, diapers, wipes, things like that. So these are my 5 priority sinking funds. I want to have a balance of $750 or more. Some of these are further along than others. So car, emergency, and future definitely have a few hundred in there. So I have a great head start. Medical is being added to and depleted because I'm having medical bills and things that I have to pay for now that I am pregnant. And then baby, we are starting fresh in the new year. So I am going to use savings challenges and my YouTube income to supplement and add to these sinking funds so that I can build them up. So I have a few savings challenges that I'm doing. I'm doing the alphabet savings challenge, which is going to give me $351. That is going to be moved into my future sinking fund. I have the 100 envelope challenge, which the version I am doing is going to be $5,500. And that is going to be allocated between debt and my sinking funds and my savings. And then, of course, with my YouTube income, I was monetized this month. And so that was really exciting and a really great Christmas gift. And so I'm hoping to get my first paycheck in January for December. And I just need you all's continued support so that that can be a viable source of income. I am going to be doing a few other savings challenges that I discovered after I did my savings challenge video, which I'll link here, as a way to just continue to add to these priority sinking funds. So yes. Next up, I want to, and so here's one of those goals that is not necessarily money related. It's a personal one, but money plays a role into it, right? And so I want to spend more time with family. Right now we are a family of 3. We will soon, well, before we know it, in a few months, be a family of 4. And so I want to make sure that while it is just us, my boyfriend and I and our daughter, we seek out free or low cost events, or at-home activities that we can do to just build our bond and spend time with one another. And for events or things that cost money, I will use my spending cash envelope versus creating an entirely new sinking fund. So just being super intentional and planful. I put $150 towards spending a month, and so that's $75 every time I get paid. There are things that we no longer do just due to COVID, but there are things that we can do. We can take a drive to the park. We can drive to the farm and walk through the farm. Like, there are just different things in our community that we can do. And I want us to be intentional about doing that. All right, number 4, I can move this paper now. I want to be, I want to focus on some economical baby number 2 preparation. It's like that Love's commercial. You live and you learn and then you get loves. Well, after having my first baby and overdoing it on a lot of things, I really want to be intentional about needs versus want. Like, what do we need for this baby versus what are the things that I want? I want to complete an inventory of items that we have on hand. So for instance, we still have a crib, we still have a playpen, we still have a bassinet. We still have quite a few of those. We still have a high chair. We still have 2 strollers, but we need a new car seat, right? And so like thinking about things like that. So completing an inventory of all of the items that we have on hand so that we know what we need to buy, what we don't need to buy. And if there is money left over and we've covered our needs, we can start thinking about, well, what are things that we want for the baby? I want to create a baby sinking fund. And so I purchased a new envelope from, I believe her shop is Kay's Wallet. And so I cannot wait for that to get here. And I am not doing a baby shower this time. I had 2 wonderful baby showers when I had my daughter, and we got so much gifts and lots of love and support and funds from family and friends. And that was just great. We are, for family and friends who are asking things that we need or if they want to give a gift, we are just going to ask for monetary gifts and gift cards so that, again, after we've determined what do we need and we complete the inventory, we have the funds on hand to make those purchases. We're not going to make a big fuss in that regard, but trust me, we are over the moon excited for our next baby, and so can't wait for that. So yeah, that's goal number 4. And last but not least, goal number 5. And so I'll do it like this. I spent this first leg of my journey, it wasn't a full year. I started the cash envelope system in March of this year, so 9 months, and I started my YouTube journey and getting really into it of May of this year. So from 9 months into, it's about 7 to 9 months. And so going into this year will be my first full year in this, and I want to increase my focus on eliminating credit card debt. So I have 2 credit cards, I have student loans, and I have my car loan. That is all the debt that I have left. My 2 credit cards together total about $18,000. My student loans are about $12,000, and my car loan is about $16,000 and some change. So my total debt, which is this number that you'll see on the sign that comes up in my thumbnails, is at $46,991. So right now I'm just focusing on getting rid of the credit card debt. I want to get rid of all of it. But if I had to think about installment debt versus credit card debt, I'd rather have the installment debt and work on that later than the credit card debt. So my focus right now, if you are not new here, you know that I put extra payments towards Walmart. And this one will be eliminated by April of 2022, if not sooner. Right now, the current total is $3,398. So we're almost done with that. I want to reduce this says credit card, it should say city credit card, but whatever, by at least $3,000 by the end of next year. This one is a higher balance, higher interest. And while I want to put more, I also have to think about all of the newness that is coming into our lives, baby, potential move at the end of next year. Like there's lots of other things that we have to prepare for, and throwing all of my money at debt without throwing any money towards those things to be prepared, I just don't think is wise for me. But I do want to focus on reducing the amount of debt. So at least by $3,000 by the end of the year, because I won't be able to start the debt snowball until about May, at least, if not sooner, depending upon when I can get rid of my Walmart card. So for right now, I'm paying the minimum payment. By May, I'm hoping to add some more money to that so that I can start knocking this down sooner. If I can reduce by $3,000, it would take my credit utilization from 84%. I know, don't come for me, don't judge, to about 62%. And then I can actively start working this 62 down to 30 and under. So I will be continuing to make my extra debt payments throughout all of 2022. And my debt snowball sinking fund that I'm adding funds to, that money, of course, I will throw at my debt, starting with Walmart and then moving it to my city card to eliminate that. Once my credit card debt is gone, I will then focus heavily on my installment debt, which is my student loans and my car note. And so guys, those are my goals. I really wanted to try to keep it simple. I wanted to think about what was important to me in my journey, and what is relevant to my life right now, thinking about all of the things happening in 2022. So if you have any questions about my goals, please feel free to comment. If you think if you just have suggestions, respectfully and kindly, definitely leave them in the comments. But please know that everyone's budgeting and finance and money journey is personal, and it is what works for them and their family. And so, yeah, just keep that in mind. But thank you for joining me to listen to my goals. I pray that the goals that you all put forth for yourselves in 2022 are accomplished and exceeded. And yeah, thank you for joining me for day 3 of the Binge-a-thon. Stay tuned. We still have our last paycheck cash stuffing, as well as counting our sinking funds. We're going to do a cash unstuffing. I've never done a cash unstuffing because I'm actually going to put all of my funds in the bank and start fresh for 2022. So stay tuned to see how much I've saved. Thank you guys for joining. You all are great. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye, Budget Buds.